selfie cam. Beard's getting there. Hello, everybody. I'm gonna clean up my desk for the next minute. Wait for a couple peeps to show up. Oofda. Oh, I didn't change the name of the title of this. Dang it. Dang it. Let's change the name of the title of this real quick. F for unpreparedness. I was just so excited to make a stream. And on leadless. I don't know how to spell leadless solder. There we go. Quick rant on leadless solder. Hey, I can't read that, it's too small. Rob, how you doing? So, Tim, I want you to come here. This is medical. Tim. Yeah, well, maybe I'll catch up later. How's everything going for you, Rob? It's been a while. Oh, this is the inspiration for a quick rant. As well as Cam saying, you haven't streamed in a long time. He's absolutely right. I have not streamed in quite a while. So, Rob, you're here. That's all I need to get started. Oh, big microscope. So, here's a power supply I got. Let's go to big desk so you can see what I've already done to it. This little cap out like wiggles around. It was kind of wiggling a little bit free, and I was like, meh. I wonder if they replaced the cap. So I pulled it out, and now it has its normal solder in it, and it's not expanded on the bottom. I kind of thought that maybe it was expanded. So I did that. These caps are a little bit too crowded, though, in my opinion. They shouldn't be like that. This is power supply. It's in an electrosurgical unit for medical equipment. Going okay, just tired. I'm doing pretty good myself, thank you. I'm a little bit tired as well, so pretty normal to check microscopes moving the same speed. Okay, so why am I going to rant about tin-based solder, or solder that does not have lead in it? Well, we all know it's brittle, and we know that there are quite a few problems caused on MacBooks for poor solder joints. Did you know it exists in medical equipment as well? Well, I've been seeing a lot more of this recently, and I don't know why. So let's show you what I've seen. First off, this is for a Force FX electrosurgical unit made by, well, too many companies have bought the company out now, so I don't even know technically who it's the owner of it. But this particular system has an error 19 that it's throwing, which isn't really in the normal service manual, but in the special one it is, and that says that there's an overvoltage on the 5-volt line, which is really weird. That makes no sense why there's an overvoltage alarm on that line. So, let's check the power supply that makes the 5 volts, right? Now, this guy has 4 screws on it. I'll go back to this big desk. I'm sorry, I'm a mess here. Has 4 screws in it here that hold it down to the motherboard. Then it has a huge honkin', what is this, 6-pin connector, Molex, I believe is what we call this one. That then goes, well, it comes from a 2-pin, oh, it's on the microscope, 2-pin entrance for 120, 240, and output of different voltages. Yeah, military, they know what they're doing. So, those are pretty big connectors, but the system, it gets wheeled down the hall sometimes, and I guess there's tiles that can ka-chunk, 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 and give it small vibrations. I guess that would be enough. Wow, that was a little behind. So, let's look to see what I have discovered. I'm not too happy about. So here's the entrance Molex, the other side of it. Now we make it a big microscope. And you'll notice that it's looking pretty good. It's not that bad. This one, you can see a little bit of chipping is going on. I don't know if I'd call it chipping or cold solder joint or what you would want to call this. This one's fine. We're just going to look over the whole board here. Bueno, hasta mañana, no. Gracias por todo. So these solder joints all look pretty stinking good. It's just a couple of random ones. And let me show you something first on the other side of the motherboard. These are through-hole components, but you'll notice that they are just through-hole. They have no, what do you call it? Hey, Joshua. How you doing? So yeah, you'll notice that there are no, what do you even call it? It's the through-hole, like plating. So I guess there's no through-hole plating. So it's only what's on the other side. This is not a multi-layer board in any respect. Like on this, you can see that this is a through-hole. It's like a mechanical. They shoved something through the hole. Same here, to give it a little bit more oomph of a connection. And this one's pretty weird. I'm guessing that this is for heatsink because this is RT1. I'm assuming that gets hot. So maybe those are to dissipate heat. I don't know how to figure that out. But okay. So whatever's on this side of the board is all you've got for a connection. An annular ring. Exactly. What's an annular ring, Rob? Why are annular rings used? So, okay, this is all you got on this side, the traces and the solder joints, and the contact is making with the pin there. So, let's look over it real quick. I'll make sure that we're in focus here to a degree. Zoom all the way down. Okay, that's nice and focused. I'll zoom in a fair amount. These are fine. This is fine. This one looks flexy. That's what that looks like. This one looks weird in general. I don't like how it's around the pin. But you see this weird line there is probably from when they were melting the solder on this larger component. That remelted and it only flew half of that. These are looking okay-ish, I would say. Those look fine up there. You really only know this stuff under a microscope. This huge lug is okay. That guy is alright. So keep a looking. So it's pretty common on the outputs. Oh, this is something I hadn't seen before. What's going on there? That's just solder mask coming off. Okay, but here, oh my. You can see something funky going on there around it, can't you? Why? Oh, probably 64 lead judging by age. Nope, no lead at all. This is actually the A model. Unfortunate. Okay, so where was I? I was right here. So look at this crack forming around. Well, that is just a physical mount. So, meh, ground. Not that important. But still cracking. Not cool. This guy looks fine. This guy looks fine. Let's go down here to our next little fun guys. Holy buckets. That's a lot more of a crack than I want to see all around a component leg. As well as this one has some cracking forming on this far side of it, but this one's like 3/4 of the way, maybe like more than 3/4 of the way around it cracked off. Anyone say intermittent connection? So this is an intermittent problem they're having, by the way, with the overvoltage on the 5-volt line, which I guess could say feedback error. The power supply is not getting the feedback that it needs to know that its 5 volts is actually 5 volts, so it wants to boost it more. I honestly don't know. This guy has a little cracking around it as well. Huge lug, no cracking. This is the base of a big transformer. Looks perfectly fine, oddly enough. Yeah, everything's looking good here. Oh, okay, so a little itty bitty little crack is coming in here. Give it time. This, I did that. That's where I unsoldered it. That looks fine. is okay. We're coming to the fun part here in a second. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I have no idea what that is. I did not do that soldering on it. And are we in focus? Oh yeah. So here's the output voltages. That ring looks like a complete mess. Followed by the next one. Kind of a mess. Not really a mess. Pretty good. Kind of a mess again. And really a mess. So why do we use tin solder in some components like this that have, actually serious repercussion if they fail? It could hurt a person. I guess technically it fails in a way where it alarms and it stops working, but come on, you're in the middle of surgery and your equipment stops working? This is a cutting and a coagulation machine, so if you are in the middle of a cut and coag and then it stops cutting and coagging, well, you could have a patient bleeding excessively that you don't need. Not cool. Surface to soldering things with PCB, that's good to know. Probably really good for physical support. I think this one was cracked a little bit. Yeah, this one's cracked a little bit. You can see that. As well around the pin. Yep, that would make 100% sense, Rob, as you were saying. So, I'm going to touch up this board. Probably most all of it. A couple of points to solder. Definitely these larger Molex plugs. I say Molex. I don't think this is Molex. I don't. Actually, I do think it is, but I don't know what it is 100%. It's frustrating. That's super frustrating. Wow, do they really buy a 3-pin and like rip out the middle pin? They did. Huh. I can't say I've seen that before. Is that how they manufactured it? Interesting. For custom made power supplies. Well, when I buy the replacements for these power supplies, they still do sell the leaded version of it, not the lead free version of it, so I'll be picking up some of those to replace in these equipment just so I can have a drop-in device to eliminate 100% of the problems in the moment. Good old Condor. Yeah, I know. It is scary. Luckily, I guess that is the failing proof to this piece of equipment. It's actually a fairly new-ish piece of equipment. 2016, I think. But when they fail, and this is kind of a standard with all medical equipment, that when they fail in a safe method. Big selfie cam, there we go. They fail in a method that's designed to minimize damage and the possibility of hurting a patient. This really comes into play with X-ray equipment. Nuclear cameras 2 point. Yeah, nuclear cameras have a whole lot of sensors on them that will stop and lock the equipment up before it hurts a patient, in theory. That's actually one of the exception pieces of equipment where it has a whole lot of huge emergency stop buttons all throughout the room because it's a really heavy chunk of lead that's moving around. Angiographic systems, yeah, pretty much all X-ray equipment have 4 or 5 fail safes that if it doesn't like one of the things that it's seeing, then it'll just shut the system down and be like, hey, call a technician, which is nice. There's pretty much zero chance that the system is going to stay on emitting X-rays, which is beautiful. You are early, so actually you missed it all. That was it. As I said, this was going to be a short and sweet stream. You just woke up. It's Canada, though. What? I'm actually kind of tired today. My goodness. It's Monday, too. So that's why I don't like tin solder. And we see this type of problem on MacBooks as well. The same, you can really see it. I'll show it one more time for AU here. This is the kind of thing that happens, except on a level that you really can't see this visually for come on, some of the MacBooks, Some of the chips on the MacBook can have this issue. I'll wash the board. Yeah, no, that's fair. Siestas. We're famous for siestas down here. I did that myself. So yeah, this I would say is because of mechanical. Let's see if I can actually move the pin. Yeah, you can see it moving. Let's see here. Zoom down, and here I'm gonna grab the other side of the pin, pin the board down as well as I can, and wiggle it. You see that? That's the pin moving. Of course, you can pretty much tell that. In the solder. False connection, good connection. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, wiggle, wiggle. And we'll give you like pretty much the whole video in just 2 seconds. This side of the board, you see that jumper out goes down in there? It's not like they're not sheathed through holes. It's only what's on the other side of the board. That's why lead and solder is important, so it's flexible. So you can see the lead on the other side of it. It's not making contact with anything. So thanks for joining in, guys. It was a pleasure. Clickety click. I will be streaming more often, hopefully soon here when things are a little bit less crazy and when I have some more plans in line for streaming. Yes. Space is important to have things that don't fail randomly like this, that you have to find out like on, I guess you can see it with your eyes, it's big enough. But if you don't solder for a living, you're gonna look over and be like, nothing's blown up, nothing caught fire. Nah. So, thank you for joining in. Everyone have yourselves a good night, or good morning, or good day, whenever you end up catching this. And stay safe. Adhere to the laws that you need to for leaded solder and unleaded solder. Luckily down here we don't need to use leadless solder yet. Alright, catch you guys later.